Turn it on. All right. Hello. We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Klamath County Chamber of Commerce Candidate Forum for Klamath County Commissioner Position 3. I am your host, the Chamber's Director, Heather Harder. We are live from the auditorium at Oregon Tech Center for Excellence in Engineering and Technology. If you've been to or watched our other forums, you've heard my spiel about the importance of casting informed votes. I want to take a moment tonight to thank the volunteers who make up the Chamber's Government Affairs Committee. This committee is all about making sure Klamath's voices are heard. Annually, we take a trip to Salem, testify on many bills, and in election years, organize opportunities like this one for you to hear directly from the candidates. Thank you to our committee for helping organize these forums. Continuing with the vein of gratitude, tonight we are proud to partner with My Basin, who is live streaming and recording tonight's forum. Can I get a round of applause for My Basin and the Government Affairs Committee? Prior to tonight, we discussed the rules of the forum with all the candidates. They will each have 2 minutes for an opening statement, 90 seconds to answer questions, and at the end, 2 minutes for a closing statement. The order of these candidate responses was randomly chosen, and that's how they're seated here tonight. Prior to tonight, none of the candidates were given any questions that will be asked by our moderator. As for you, our fantastic audience, we do have some ground rules to help things go smoothly. Please no booing, heckling, or other distracting behaviors, and please make sure that you have silenced your cell phones. And last but not least, we ask that you hold your applause until the end so that our internet audience can hear the responses. Tonight's moderator is Amanda Blodgett. Amanda is the Chamber Director. So after we go through the introductions, then she will begin asking questions. Keeping time, I have volunteer Erica Rogers. Candidates, Erica will give you a 30-second warning when your time is about up, and then she'll hold up the stop sign when that's time. Before I introduce tonight's candidates, I've been asked to read a statement from candidate Sally Ann Palkovich, who is not here tonight. In her own words, I don't think it is in my best interest to attend this forum when the person that has created the questions and is moderating the forum is publicly endorsing one of the candidates I'm running against. That does not create an impartial atmosphere for me or for the other candidate. Weighing the impartiality of this forum against another activity that would create a hardship for several other people has led me to choose the latter. I think it's a travesty for the Chamber to claim impartiality while endorsing one candidate over the others. Shame on you. Those are Sally Ann's words. Because Ms. Palkovich asked me to read it aloud at tonight's forum, it does open an opportunity to share just a few words about the Chamber and the people that make up the Chamber, its board, and our committees. The Chamber's forums are professional and fair. This is evident in every forum we've hosted over the past 8 years, and I will let tonight's forum speak for itself. At the Chamber, we value open dialogue and informed decision-making, and we take that responsibility very seriously. Tonight is not about my opinion. It's not actually about the person sitting next to you either. Tonight is about letting each of you hear from the candidates. Every candidate is asked the same question and given the same amount of time to respond. This gives you, as an informed voter, the ability to make your own choice, just the way it should be. Tonight, our community shines as we celebrate the commitment to healthy discourse, focusing on the issues that matter most to our community. Together, let's ensure that this forum serves as a valuable opportunity for both candidates and voters alike. Thank you for your attention, and let's proceed with today's forum. So, first up is Todd Gesley, and then we have candidate Derek DeGroot as well. Todd, we'll start with you. You'll have 2 minutes for an opening, and then we'll move over to Derek. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Todd Gesley, and I am extremely curious. And when I moved here, I ran for county commissioner 2 years ago because I wanted to get to know this county. And Dave Hensley won, and he should have won because I didn't know what I was doing. But in these last 2 years, I've spent a lot of time getting to know the farmers, the tribes, and fairness is my compass. I strive to serve as a conservative without prejudice, and every day is a new opportunity when you don't hold grudges and you rely on the Lord to go before you. And I like people, and I love to learn. Since moving here, I have earned my Oregon General Contractor's license and my insurance license. I've been an Oregonian 44 years and 3 years here in Klamath. I came to Klamath Falls during the pandemic, and I bring an international perspective and tell stories and help businesses here. And I also own Inspired Project Funding, and there I work on business plans in the billions of dollars, helping clients get ready to do solar farms. And also, real quick, I'd like to introduce my wife tonight, Gianni Gessley, and we have a 17-year-old son that goes to Eagle Ridge. And so we're just happy to be here and look forward to serving this community.
Perfect. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for coming. Thank you for the Chamber for putting this event together. My name is Commissioner Derek DeGroot, and I see a lot of familiar faces and some more arriving, but there are maybe a few faces that I don't recognize, so let me introduce myself. So I was born and raised in Klamath County, in Klamath Falls. When they talk about he's from Klamath, they're talking about me. This is the only place I've ever lived other than the time that I spent in the U.S. Navy. This is home. I choose to live here. I choose to come back after I came home from the Navy because this is paradise for me. I love this community, and it has afforded me and my family great opportunities. I am the first-generation American. My father is an immigrant to this country, and what Klamath did for him so that he could prosper and raise his family, my entire family owes a debt of gratitude to this community, and that's why we serve. I came home after the Navy, and I met my wife, and I dragged her back to Klamath County, kicking and screaming. My beautiful wife, Terry, who's in the audience. Married in 1997. We're just coming up on 27 years together, married, and we have 3 wonderful children. I have one that lives here in town still, working, and he is the father of my 2-year-old granddaughter, who I adore and chase, and I'm very happy every time she's in the room. My middle boy, Dylan, is a combat medic in the U.S. Army, and my daughter is a junior at college right now, so she's away at college. I'll tell you, I've promised that I would work to make Klamath a place our kids could come home to, and I've strived every day to keep that promise, to build bridges, set tables, and make sure that our community is working together on the hardest issues. I think that's evident by the people that have endorsed my campaign. U.S. Congressman Cliff Bentz, the Water Users Association, and former Tribal Chairman Don Gentry. So thank you all for being here. Looking forward to a great discussion. It's been a long day, Heather.
All right, Mr. DeGroot, we'll start with you. Klamath County is struggling with housing. Can you share your thoughts on the role of local government in addressing the housing challenges, and tell us what, if any, specific policies or programs you would advocate for in this regard?
Thank you. That's a great question, and housing is my wheelhouse. So for the 20 years preceding this job, I was a mortgage broker for 20 years. And that's one area that I can dive into, and I have dove into. There's a lot of things that we're doing today to try to combat the housing crisis. There is half off of all of the building permits. We have given away 40 acres, and we are very close to inking a deal so that we have a developer that's going to build over 100 homes right in the heart of our community. We have put together a program where we are rehabilitating dilapidated homes, both improving blight in our community while at the same time adding doors to the housing stock. This has been a tremendously successful program. I had an hour-long conversation with Senator Wyden maybe 5-6 weeks ago, specifically about that program, and he was so excited about how we did it as a pilot that he is thinking about taking that nationwide and working on figuring out a way to get through Congress on something like that. There's a lot to be done, right? We are about 600 doors short today, and we have more people moving into our community every day. We are growing rapidly, and addressing the housing crisis is something that we're going to tackle head on, and I believe we're doing that now.
Well, I'm working with Simplicity Homes between now and the election to bring them to town to help use local builders and their external teams to help build up to 36 homes. Is their goal to build up to 36 homes in the next year here in Klamath, in Klamath County. So that's one of the things I've been working on. Also, I'd like to see that in the rural areas that we even cut our permits even more so that we can get people that can actually afford the permits and get on. One size doesn't fit all for this county. The other thing I'd like to look at doing is maybe in Sprague, seeing if we can get that sanitary waste department, somehow work on that so that we could have some free days where people can help move in, take their garbage in if they can't afford it, so we can help clean up Oregon. We have some beautiful places, but we also have some really trashy spots out there, and we need to find a way to either bring that in and make that part of make the sanitary part of the taxes, and bring that in as part of a service that we provide so that we can help those folks that need to declutter a little bit. And last but not least, I'm excited to hear that Klamath County, or the city, is looking at building zero-lot townhomes, or at least having a new zoning for that, as well as some cottage things where you can build multiple homes on one piece of property. So tiny home type thing. So yes, thank you.
Mr. Gessley, this one's for you. Public safety is on the minds of the citizens. What do you think the role of a Klamath County Commissioner is in promoting and enhancing public safety in Klamath Falls? And what specific strategies do you propose to collaborate with law enforcement agencies, community organizations, and residents to address pressing public safety concerns?
Well, we definitely have to build up the office of the sheriff, and I hope you elect the right sheriff. As we go through this process, there's a lot of candidates that are running. Safety-wise, the community watch programs are working well, but we have to find some way to do more budget there, get our code enforcement up, and work with trying to provide better services in the rural areas. Maybe even some virtual stations where the folks that up there can come and Zoom, if they don't have internet out in the out spots. It could be an office somewhere where they could come in and interact with the office down here. We have technology now, so we could put some stations there that could be virtual, or they could be open certain days of the week, and everybody could come file their paperwork, and we'd have the forms up there so they don't have to come clear to Klamath to get them. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. In 2017, when I took office, the amount of money that we had allocated from the general fund to the sheriff's office was $6.8 million. Last year, it was $12.2 million. We have dug in and found every dollar available to send into the sheriff's office. To put that into perspective, the amount of money that you pay as Klamath County residents in your property taxes to Klamath County is about $10.5 million. So nearly $2 million more than we take in property taxes is given to the sheriff's office. And that is through digging, scratching, and fighting to try to bring in additional revenues into the community that we can put into public safety. Not to mention the other areas that we put general fund dollars, like the district attorney's office and juvenile, all related to public safety. The fact of the matter is, the more money we throw at it, the more money we need to throw at it, and we have to find a different solution. Just this last spring, I convened the first ever Council of Governments. This is a meeting between Klamath County, the Klamath tribes, and all 5 municipalities within Klamath County: Chiloquin, Bonanza, Merrill, Malin, and the city of Klamath Falls. And the one takeaway from that meeting was we're going to create a task force with all of the law enforcement professionals and our elected governments to try to figure out a way to tackle this issue, because it's not good enough. We're not doing good enough for you yet, and it's not going to be solved with dollars. We're going to have to get creative, and that's what we're doing.
To you, Mr. DeGroot. What strategies do you believe are essential for fostering sustainable economic growth and job creation in Klamath County? And how do you plan to leverage the county's resources and strengths to attract new businesses, support local entrepreneurs, and expand employment opportunities for residents?
We're doing that. That's exactly what I said I was going to do when I took office. To give you an example, when I took office, our economic development arm, CASITA, had one project on the books, and it was going to save us all. It was going to employ 400 people. It was Project Falcon, and it was going to be a wood products industry folks that were going to come in and they were going to move over in next to Collins. Folks, it was never going to happen. We decided this isn't about hitting home runs. It's about hitting singles, doubles, maybe every once in a while you hit a triple. And you open up for business. You say Klamath County is open for business, which is what we've done. Since I've been in office, we've closed over 40 projects, businesses that have moved to Klamath County, and we have another 56 on the books, with over $4 billion of capital improvements that would come into Klamath County, raising our tax base and giving us additional funding for other projects. One of them is Wilson Art. I will tell you, there's a quote from Scott Siracusa, says Wilson Art would not be in Klamath County if not for Derek DeGroot. I worked my tail off to make sure that they're here providing jobs, living wage jobs for our kids and our citizens. So that work is being done. It's just building on the momentum and taking us into the next chapter. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. You've done a good job of laying the groundwork for a lot of jobs in the area. We kind of here in our county, we have kind of a four tiers. We have the military, we have the healthcare, we have the educational part, and then we have service, where we're serving each other in the retail side of things. And if we're going to have better housing, we have to have better jobs. And if you don't have the housing, you can't have the jobs. So we have to encourage entrepreneurship, and I appreciate what Klamath Idea has done. When I first got here, I met with those guys, and I've been down and Discover Klamath, and CASITA has been very Randy down there has been very helpful with giving me a lay of the land. But we're kind of undiscovered. We're the Sun Belt that is like Bend in the 1980s, and that's what attracted me here. My wife grew up in Bend, and she said, let's go live where there's lodgepole pine trees. And so, I'm excited to walk downtown. I was down there, and there's only like 2 storefronts that are open right now. There's all kinds of little entrepreneurs down there, and that's filled up post-COVID. So good job. Thank you. We'll want to continue that.
Mr. Gasly, water is an issue and tends to be a federal and state issue. What role can a county commissioner play, and how would you address the water challenges within the county?
Well, water, I just spent a whole day with Derek and I both. We were on the Tri-County, went out and on a little bus tour and kind of went around with all the board members and went all the way down to Tule Lake and listened to different farmers talk about the challenges that they have with water. One of the things is, Derek and I agree, we've got to get the right people in the room to talk about it. And if we aren't talking to each other, we can't just hate on each other. We've got to get in the same room and look at solving the issues and communicating with it. There are a lot of things that are above our that happen at the state and federal level, but we have to, and I will be dedicated to engaging at those levels and advocating for our farmers. Agricultural is where our jobs are, that's where our economy is. We have to protect them and get them water, because if we don't get water on the land, a lot of things sink, and it's just our water, it's good for the ecology, for the birds and the migratory patterns, so it's essential. Thank you so much. Oh, that's a 30-second warning, but that's okay, I was done.
All right.
Go ahead, Jared.
Thank you for the question. I will tell you, for the Klamath County Board of Commissioners, this is an area where I've taken the lead. Agriculture is a $500 million, that's $500 million industry in Klamath County. Without agriculture, our economy starts to collapse. Those dollars turn over 3-4 times before they leave, making it an over $1 billion industry in Klamath. It has to be protected. At the same time, we have to deal with the Endangered Species Act. We have to take care of wildlife. We have to negotiate and bring people to the table. That's something that I've focused on in my time in office. When I took office, everybody was fighting and nobody was talking. Just this last year, the tribes and the water users signed an MOU to work on projects together because they were sitting at a table talking. That's work that everybody put into, local government included. Todd referred to the Tri-County effort. I'm the commissioner from Klamath County that leads on the Tri-County effort. That's Klamath, Modoc, and Siskiyou. I just got back from Washington, D.C. about 3 weeks ago, and I went there with the water users. What did we accomplish? By the time we left, Congressman Bentz dropped a bill that we're going to fight for getting passed in Congress that would protect water users, protect agriculture, protect farmers, actually help the Bureau manage their assets. And that's what we're going to get done.
Mr. DeGroot, as a candidate for Klamath County Commissioner, how do you envision the future of our community, and what specific actions do you propose to ensure its continued growth, prosperity, and resilience in the face of evolving challenges and opportunities?
That's a big question you can take anywhere, right? So I would tell you, we've been talking already today about all of the success that we're having in Klamath, and I think it's important that we celebrate that. I'm very proud of the work that's been accomplished over the course of the last 8 years, and it's stuff that we can build on. We don't need to keep on thinking that we are a depressed community. This is a wonderful community. We are attracting jobs. We have the lowest unemployment level than we've had in 25 years, right, folks? Let's get excited about where we live again. That's really what it comes down to. People are moving here. Todd's moving here. People are moving here in droves, coming in because we have something to offer. We're growing, one of the fastest growing counties in the state. We're doing well. So what am I going to do? I'm going to keep doing what we're doing because it's working, right? We're growing. We have a low unemployment level. We have great jobs. We have people working together to solve big, big problems. There's going to be a time in my life where we don't have water conflict in the Klamath Basin. That's going to be solved because of the work we're doing. So thank you very much, but it's continue doing what we're doing.
We have to, Klamath County means so many different things to so many different people, from recreation to farming to the tribes to the military. And the identity is, I'm excited too, because it is really starting to bloom. And as we come together and get past some of the toxic situations that, the mini dramas that we tend to focus on, and come together and for safety and all these things, and the biggest thing I want to do is, rather before we get things to the lawsuit section or threatening of lawsuits, is let's get people in the same room. Let's talk. Let's be kind. Let's try to be fair to each other, and try to reach across old boundaries and family feuds. Let's get past all that. Let's build something here, and try to find more things for our kids to do so they can stay here. Nobody knows about the great education that we have down here. I think we could get a lot of kids and even international students to come in and fall in love with Klamath Valley, and if we promoted our community college and OIT a little bit better. Thank you.
Mr. Gessley, in your opinion, what is the number one opportunity in our community right now?
The number one opportunity. There are just so many of them. I don't know how you pick. I think the number one opportunity for us would be to promote our education and our kids that are here, and find great jobs for them. The trades, we're short on trades, and so I really like what the community college is doing with trades, because if we can get our kids employed and working, that will help them stay here close to home. So I think that would be what I would focus on, is trying to create activities for our kids, and going from there. So thank you.
So the list is long. The opportunities that we have in Klamath County are enormous. And I could sit up here, and if we want, we can talk about them after this, because I got a lot. But really what it comes down to is recognizing when you have opportunities that are short in time that can be missed. And that would be my number one that I would focus on today. Let me also say our kids. We always have to continue to invest in our kids. And if I didn't say that, my wife would probably beat me. She's a school teacher. But there's a lot of money floating around right now from the federal government, and it's going to get spent in Klamath County. We got allocated $162 million to focus on projects to restore the Klamath Basin, improve habitat, help the species, and solve the water crisis so that we can get a balanced ecosystem and water to agriculture, water downriver, and keep water in the lake. That money will go away very, very quickly. I will tell you, the day that they announced that the money was there, the agencies wanted to start spending it as fast as they could. And I called BS and said, no, that's not it. We have time. There's not a clock on these dollars that it has to be spent right this second. Make people sit at the table. This is a generational opportunity. You're not going to have this one again. Not in my lifetime. At least I hope not. We don't need to be throwing around hundreds of millions and billions and trillions of dollars. But we have an opportunity right now to take advantage of the money that was allocated for Klamath. And that cannot be missed. It is generational, and we only get one shot at doing that right.
Mr. DeGroot, our roads have been a topic of conversation. What ideas do you have to address the maintenance and improvement of our road infrastructure in Klamath County? How does that play with federal and state funding for roads?
We have some of the best roads in the state in Klamath County. And I know people will say, wait a minute, I drive around town and I'm on bad roads, or I drive down Crater Lake Parkway and it's a mess, or my neighborhood street is a mess. You're not driving down a county road. You're driving down a state highway. You're driving down a city road. You're driving down a private road, but you're not driving down a county road. We have some of the highest index roads in the state. We have great infrastructure. We're looking at improving things and putting in additional connectors so that we can improve and minimize traffic congestion because we know we're growing at a high rate. We're improving roads around schools so that we can make them safer for kids to walk. But if you're driving down a road and you're it's not a county road because we are on it and we are fixing those. Okay? And it's important to know the difference. Go to the website. There's a link on the website where you can go and it'll show you, if you want to look up a road, whose jurisdiction it is, who's supposed to be taking care of it. And if you find something that we've missed, let us know because we'll be on it quick. We take good care of our roads in Klamath County. And by the way, we have a few dollars in the bank to do it.
I would second that and say that the next step that we have to do is look at our long-term planning. If you look at what happened in Bend and some of the congestion there and what they had to do to move businesses to widen roads and things like that, we need to start thinking ahead because we are going to grow. And so county planning, we need to look at that and see what we can do. Also, whatever we can do out in the rural areas as well to help with those roads and getting one of the issues we have a lot of times is people that are there, especially like in the estates and things, when they get squatters up there that just come in and live on the land and wreck the roads, the gravel roads drive 60 miles an hour, out there. So we need some enforcement out there as well to help, slow things down a little bit and try to move those folks off the land if they are not there legally. Thank you.
Candidates, you've been very efficient in your answers this evening. This is your last question. Mr. Gessley, we'll start with you. What ideas do you have to enhance community engagement and foster a sense of civic pride and participation among the residents of Klamath County?
Well, I think the answer on that is I don't know it all, so I'm going to have some committees and some advisors. There's wisdom among counselors, and so finding a way to have task force and people that can, I know you guys do that as commissioners right now, so that's really nothing new, but spending the time, I'm dedicated to putting in the time and spending time with people. My favorite phrase is show me your world, show me your challenges. And if you've got an issue, I'm responsive. I'm like, come over to my house, call me, and I'll get right back to you. So I'm approachable, I'm humble, and that's just what I want to do, is just be here for you and do a lot of listening. And I've already spent, it's almost a full-time job running for running for as a candidate, isn't it, Derek? It takes a lot of time, but I'm putting it in, and I enjoy investing in this community and look forward to working with you and representing you.
Thanks for the question. You know, we have a lot of committees, we have a lot of boards that give us advice, keep us informed, and then we make decisions, the best decisions that we can with the information that we have based on values and what we believe the values of our community are and the social expectations of our community. We have to take it to the next level, and we have to all get on board and work together. And that's why the Council of Governments was created. It's not something new, right? I didn't get that idea in the shower one day. That was something that came up by going around and traveling the country and figuring out what's working elsewhere. What are good things that are happening? And then stealing those ideas. I'm not afraid. I'll go and take great ideas from anyone. But that Council of Governments is going to work. I have a lot of faith in it. It's going to be where we can get together and we can talk. City of Klamath Falls, we have one of our councilors in the office, or in the audience, excuse me. Town of Bonanza, Merrill, Malin, Chiloquin, the tribes, we're all talking and working together to try to solve big problems, right? We're a great community, but every community has challenges, but we're up to the task and we're going to solve them. And it's bringing local governments together and working together to solve them that's going to get it done. Right into the
You
ending.
guys, yes, so you will have, we are going to go in the opposite direction from the introductions. So you can start, you have 2 minutes for a closing, and then Mr. Gessley will.
I've been at the other ones and I've been paying attention. So again, I want to thank everybody for coming. It's really important for you to be here, for you to be informed. I want to thank you for the opportunity to serve over the course of the last 8 years. It has truly been an honor in my life to be able to give back to the community that has given me and my family so much. I love this town. I love Klamath County. From Malin to Gilchrist, from Blythe to Keno, I love it. There's a joke as we drive into town with me and my family and my wife, and we drive in and you see that, "Welcome to Klamath County." I said, yes, this is my home. I feel better the second I cross that sign. We have achieved a lot of success over the last 8 years. This community is going in the right direction. And I believe there's a lot of work left to be done. I would sincerely appreciate your vote in letting me continue that work. My campaign has been endorsed again by Congressman Cliff Bentz, by the Executive Director, of the Water Users, Paul Simmons, by former Tribal Chairman Don Gentry, pretty much the entire board of the Water Users, Scott Siracusa, Joe Spendolini. The list is long. If you want to get onto the website and take a look, it's all there. By commissioners from all across the state. I've worked hard to make sure that I've been put into positions, not just in Oregon, but across the country, to advocate for Klamath. Last year, I was the president of the Association of Oregon Counties, elected by my peers throughout Oregon to represent all of Oregon. I am sitting on the National Association of Counties Board of Directors. I was just placed on a board to work on pushing back on the U.S. Forest Service on what old growth timber really is and what it isn't, and how we're going to manage our forests. So I worked hard to get on those boards, and I hope you let me use them. Thank you. Vote for Derek.
When people ask me why they should elect me or why I'm running for office, the answer is simple. I want to make local government work for this community, for this county, as well as for the rural areas. I have some solid ideas of how to make that happen and build upon what has been done. I think that we need fresh ideas, and I'm someone who would step up to that and try to represent you and fill the big shoes that Derek has done up to this point. So I offer you a new perspective to look at how the county operates and what improvements can be made. At the moment, our country, like this county, is divided on many different issues, and compromising on our potential and our complexities are barriers to growth. I want to remove those barriers. I don't want us to lose out on any opportunities. We need a fresh start. I'm committed to protecting the Constitution and your rights, to asking haters not to hate, and let's talk about solutions before seeking litigation. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful county. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it kind. Let's demonstrate good faith, create great friendships, save communities, and seek better results with our willpower. Thanks for considering me. You can learn more about me at Elect Todd G. God bless America. And whatever the outcome of this election, I hope it unites us and opens up a new chapter for Klamath County.
You guys are efficient. You're running a little bit ahead of schedule. I want to get another round of applause for these candidates. I think about this at all of our forums. The number one fear for most people in the world is public speaking. And then we put you up there and ask you questions that you don't know yet. And then we ask you, pick me. I mean, those are like, that's scary. So thank you. Thank you to all of our candidates over all of the forums. I said in an earlier forum, just as voting is a responsibility, so is stepping up to lead. So thank you both. All of our forums are recorded, this one and the sheriff candidates, Senate District 28, and Commissioner Position 1. They are available on mybasin.com. Ballots come out tomorrow, May 1st, so watch for them. And I'm going to introduce just really quickly Todd Andrus. He is the chair of our Government Affairs Committee, and he had a few words to say, and then we'll be done. One more thing. One of the great things about our forum is you have the opportunity to meet with these folks afterwards and ask any of the questions that we did not get to with the things that are on your mind. So.
Yeah, thank you, Heather. Since this is our fourth and final one before the primaries, and I felt it was important to thank some people for doing an outstanding job and helping get the information out to the communities. And with all thank yous, the danger is that you miss someone, so I'm probably going to miss someone, and I'm sorry. I apologize from my heart. But first I wanted to thank all the individuals who put their hat in the ring. As a recovering politician myself, I understand the stress, the undeserved criticism, the financial obligations that occur, and the endless hours that all of these elected officials and people who are running to be elected officials put in. No matter what the result, every person who puts their hat in the ring deserves a big thank you from our community. So can you give them one more thank you, but thanking all the people who have been in this? I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the past governmental affair committees and Joe Spendolini. Without the foundation of these past forums, we would not have been able to build onto them and do these things like we are doing today. So I really appreciate all the past efforts that were made and the strong foundation that we were able to build on. When we started getting into this thing, I'm going to give you a little hint. This stuff ain't free. And so there is financial obligations from the chamber and from my basin. And Randy Shaw, when he learned of some of that, stepped up and wanted to help us. So I want to make sure that Randy Shaw and Caldwell Banker is given a big thanks, because without them and without supporters like that, we can't do these things. So I want to give a big thank you to Rob Sims and My Basin Media. Rob, I came to you with an idea and how to build off of past forums with the desire of getting more information out to the citizens of our county, and so they can make informed decisions. And when I sat down with Rob, he agreed. He thought it was extremely important also my basin is a very strong community leader also, and so we saw eye to eye. So the first forum has over 1,000 people that have watched it so far. That's tremendous success, in my opinion, getting the information out for people to understand. And then I think the sheriff's got about 800 right now. So anyway, Rob, thank you so much, and thank you, My Basin Media. You did a great job for us. Yeah, you can. And last but not least, Heather, our executive director. She was the first one I approached on some new ideas for the forum, and you were extremely supportive. You were very understanding of the desires that I had, and you just, I think in any committee, we all know that you come up with great ideas, but you have another job. You're doing other things. Someone has to get it done. Someone has to have that belief. That's what happened. She deserves all the credit for what has happened in these forums, and a special thank you for you. Thank you. So, I think we achieved what we wanted to do. I think we got the information out for you to make the choice. And now, honestly, it's in your hands. Like Heather said earlier, it doesn't matter what I think, it doesn't matter what she thinks, it doesn't matter what your neighbor thinks. It matters what you think. And I encourage you to use your rights as a citizen of this country and get out there to vote. Ballots are coming in the mail. If you have a question, go back to My Basin, rewatch the forum. And I'm hoping if there needs to be more forums for the general election, we'll be able to do those for you. So good night, and thank you so much.
All right, the candidates are going to be out in the lobby ready to answer your questions.
Right here, whatever you want.